Are you too accommodating? Is yes the word that you go to mostly? I'm like, is that your default? Is my question, right? So let's just start off by saying there's nothing wrong with being nice, helping friends, supporting your family, finding ways to get along with other people. That's beautiful, right? That's a good thing. But is it a possibility that you might be too nice, too accommodating, too willing to stop what you're doing to help and do for others? Is it a possibility? And just have to realize that that comes with a whole list of negative side effects. So I'm reading this article on Bustle, Bustle. It was written by Carol Stebler, Steber. She actually originally published it June 2016 and updated it in July of 2021. I was just thinking about this whole default of serving others, right? And so I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, that's what we were told to do, is to help everybody else. And at some point, just like, hold up. If I'm busy with my 24 hours a day helping other people, where do I fit in, right? When is being accommodating too much? So that's the question for today on the Better You Leadership Podcast: is are you simply being too accommodating, too nice, too available? That is the question for today. And so we're going to go along. This article includes responses from different therapists, marriage and family therapists, some psychiatrists. I think she got several experts in this article. And so I'm just going to share those good points with you. And another thing about this article is it offers some solutions, some things to do when you recognize in yourself that you might be too accommodating, right? So I think it is a good thing to be reflective, right? To reflect, to have some time to think about where you're going. I mean, what you're doing. What are your goals? What are your priorities? What is it you need to be your best self, right? And then, of course, for me, I have this ticker over here that says, show up for myself first and then serve others from the overflow. And I tell you what, that works because I still want to help people. I can only help them really if I'm being my best, right? So, according to this article, being too nice can simply be another way of saying someone is uncomfortable with the possibility of letting other people down. Like you've got to be the person, right? The go to person, someone who others can depend on. And, you know, you got to just think about that. You're going to let somebody down at some point, right? Because there's only one perfect person, Jesus. So all of these feelings could stem from some kind of past experience. The way you were raised may have been like some rejection you got, right? Some you might have expressed your opinion at one point, and it wasn't well received, or you're in an environment where you what you think and say is not valued. You could be in some kind of toxic family history, or just the way when I was raised, kids were seen and not heard. So whatever your issue is, at this point, you've been taught to say yes, to be agreeable, and bend over backwards to help other people because that's what you do. That's what we do. That's how you're being kind. I was on a cruise with my everything friend a couple of years ago. This was before COVID. We went on Oprah's cruise, and one of the things she said really just stuck with me. When someone is doing something and you're like, oh, that's odd, or oh my God, you're so rude, or oh my God, you're so nice. So it's not what's wrong with them, it's what happened to them for them to show up this way, for them to behave this way. So that is a question for you to ask yourself, because that's what we do here in the Better You community. Is we lead ourselves, others, and we lead organizations and processes. So in this, we want to be able to lead ourselves. Have some reflective time. And so the question really is, um, do you really have to be so agreeable all the time? I think not. So if you have been defined as the nice friend, right? The nice employee, the nice boss, that you believe that being doing selfless things, because you might just be afraid to say no, right? Guess what's going to happen? You're going to burn out and you're going to be pissed off, stressed, right? So being too nice, or really you don't speak up, you don't speak the truth, you're going to be resentful at some point. I'm telling you right now. And I agree with the um, what's this? A licensed marriage and family therapist, Robin DiAngelo, in this article. She says, when we're always accommodating others, we can start to feel invisible or unimportant. We feel disconnected, right? Because we're helping someone else build their kingdom, their queendom, as opposed to setting some boundaries, because that's what that's about, setting some boundaries. So being overly nice can lead you to some kind of identity crisis. Like you don't even know who you are because you're always bending for everybody else, right? So when you're always available for others, then the truth is, I just want to say you, it's we tend to lose a sense of who we are, what you want and what you feel, because you're thinking, what if they don't like me? Some of them are not going to like you no matter what you do. I'm just going to tell you that is the truth, right? So this makes having honest and vulnerable relationships, like adult relationships where people have back and forth conversations, sharing opposing views, sharing their ideas. This makes it nearly, like impossible, because you're over here trying to say, well, I don't want to say that. I don't want my tone to reflect this. Oh my goodness, watch my facial expressions. That's a bunch of foolishness, and it's got to be exhaustive. I mean, I'm just tired, right? It just drains you for all of that. So in this article, they've listed different things that will help you identify signs, right? Help us, real, if we're being too nice, right? Which means we're out of balance, might be resentful, and we're not getting our own stuff done. Or we're not a priority. So you're like, I don't know why I can't finish this project, right? Because you're always doing for others and you're not set priorities and boundaries for yourself, right? So there, number one thing is you say sorry on repeat, looking for signs. Um, these are signs that you might be too accommodating, too nice. One is just you just say sorry on repeat. Sorry, 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 sorry. So nice folks, nice people tend to get on a roll and just apologize for everything. I love how the article puts this. Just apologize for everything, and just anything. It's your fault, right? So you might think you're just taking up space or you're in somebody else's way, even if you are in the Walmart, right? And you're going up the aisle and coming down the aisle. You're like, oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Sorry about what? Right? So you might have a habit of aiming to please, people pleasers. And you want to be polite, but guess what? 24/7 apologizing, it's just too much, right? Stop it. um, and oh, by the way, it really won't mean anything if you're doing it all the time. So we're talking about, the question: are you too accommodating? You're too nice, right? So if you have "I'm sorry" on repeat, just because, um, you don't have to apologize for everything, right? So in this article, which I love, it says, okay, so if you find yourself apologizing all the time, you might just not even be at fault, but oh, I'm sorry, oh, I didn't mean that. Okay, sorry, let me get out of your way. Why? I'll tell you what I think was, when I'm someplace and I'm walking and facing someone else, and I'm going a certain direction, then I don't stop. I just keep walking. Why I gotta stop? Now, if it's like some elderly people, it's a big group of people, some children, whatever it is, it's not all the time. I'm not gonna be crazy with it. But if it's just like a regular person like me, and another regular person coming towards me, then I'm going to keep walking. Now you stop. You stop. So anyway, so if you have sorry on repeat, you can do an experiment where you go an entire day without saying the word sorry. SORRY. Apologize. SORRY. Right? I just said apologize. Either one, whatever. You apologize all the time or sorry all the time. So we're gonna go one day without saying I apologize or I'm sorry. So you can't even apologize if somebody bumps into you, right? Or you bump into somebody. Um, so you want to catch yourself, and then it's going to reveal how often you just toss out these apologies all over the world. Oh, here's an apology. Here's a sorry. Here's that. If you're doing that, then you just want to be aware of it. So you can take a more assertive approach in these situations. For example, instead of apologizing to a friend for arriving late to lunch, you can just thank them for being patient and waiting for you. So as opposed to saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," you might say, "Oh, wow, thank you for being patient and just waiting on me. I appreciate that. Thank you." And instead of apologizing to your boss when you can't make a meeting, because there's going to be a bunch of meetings, right? We know that. So as opposed to apologize to your boss for not being able to make the meeting, um, you can voice your appreciation for being included and then ask to meet to get caught up on the details at some kind of convenient time for the both of you or the group of you, right? So you get that, just flip that thing around. So just, oh, my God, thank you so much for including me. I appreciate that. Yeah, when do you think we can get caught up? I need to just catch up on the details, make sure I'm on the same sheet of music, make sure I'm aligned, right? So that's one thing for that. That's that whole throwing those apologies out. Then just come back, turn that thing around, reflect in a positive manner, right? Being assertive about it. So that's number one, throwing those apologies out. Number two is your needs are never met. That's another sign that you might be too accommodating, right? You might be too accommodating. So your needs are never met. So nice people tend to attract users, partners who are lazy, friends who are always in need of help, family members who constantly have a favor to ask. It's okay, to be helpful, but it crosses over if like there's nobody helping you. What's on the other end of that? So when you need a hand, and you're gonna need a hand, you're gonna need a favor. Do you have someone who will stand up and say, "Okay, I got you"? So that's when you can just take a look at how available are the other people when you need help, right? So you also might notice that you're not meeting your goals, right? You're not doing what you want to do or need to do because you're always helping other people. Your needs are not being met. So this is a way to think about how you might approach this situation is try to be more honest about your needs. You can let your friends, your partners, your parents know that you love them and you love their advice, you love their support, and you just want to start prioritizing your own happiness. So you don't have to be nasty or boisterous or demonstrative or you don't have to be crazy about it. You can still be nice about the way you put some space there, right? You can still be nice about that. So you want to just strike a balance and just let the people in your life know that um, yeah, I'm not available at this time, right? So number three is you feel resentful after saying yes. So number one sign for you that you might be too accommodating and too nice. You say sorry on repeat. Number two is your needs are never met, and then number three, you feel resentful after saying yes. So my name is Angela Odom. I'm the host of the Better You Leadership Podcast and the founder of the Better You Project. And what we're sharing today is some signs that you might be too accommodating. And we're on number three. You feel resentful after saying yes. So you're gonna know if you're a little too nice and you're stretched too. You're like stretched too thin. Like you got so much on your plate, and you hear yourself say, oh my God, I got a lot to do. And then you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like I should be doing this. I'm tired. You're a little resentful. So that's how you will know. So if you're always agreeing to things, you're saying yes, 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 yes. You want me to help you? Oh, I feel good that you want me to help you. So you're constantly agreeing to things. Why is that? Because you want to be liked, and because really you really want to help people, and you want to do it. But guess what? You cannot do everything for everybody. You cannot be all things to other people. So, according to the experts, something you can do about that is just practice saying no. No. No, not right now. I'm not available at this time. Just practice saying no. So you can reserve all the yeses for the things and people who truly matter to you, because that's what you're saying. Like, I'm doing this for my family. I'm making sure I got everything in order for my whatever. So how about you spend time with them? How about you say yes with those people, right? So if you're nervous about saying no, you can actually reply by text, or you can, your reply might look like, "No, I can't do that." Right? You can, you can do all these things, because guess what's going to happen if you you call or you're in person, you don't have the space to think about it, then you might stay in that same loop of doing too much, right? And feeling resentful about it. So number 4 is you worry about being liked. We want to be liked. There's nothing wrong with that. But guess what? Everybody's not going to like you, the real authentic you, and that's okay, because what they're looking for is the person that is doing for them, the person who is being accommodating for them, the person who is really nice and helpful to them. Now they like that version of you. You want to get with some people who like the crazy you, the loud you, the rude you, the one that said, "Girl, I'm not doing that." So it's okay. So sometimes we just simply are worried or concerned that people will like us, to include us. And so it's okay. It really is okay. So be safe while you're doing this, as you are being reflective and being able to see whether um, this is your issue. It might not even be your issue, right? So you want to try an experiment. This is really good. This is one of the experts said you can try an experiment. Notice situations when you are always saying yes. And then you can imagine, so what would happen if I said no? You're likely to go on autopilot. So you can find some kind of space to between the person asking you for whatever this might be, and you providing your answer. So you need space. And so that means if you're receiving a text and somebody's asking you something, then don't reply right away, right? It means that if they're right there in your face, right, you say something like, you know what, I need to make sure I check my calendar first. I got so much going on. I want to make sure that I am really available. So hold what you got. I'll get back to you. That gives you space, right? And just look for small situations to say no, to practice saying no. And you don't really have to have a big long explanation as to why you're saying no. But I am nice, right? So I personally I'm not demonstrative about not being able to support someone's kingdom or queendom. But I do check my calendar to make sure I'm not overcommitted, because that's kind of crazy too, that you saying yes to so many people, and someone else that you might actually want to do something with, you might be available, you want to be available rather, and then you've committed to 2 and 3 and 4 things, and so you can't. So check your calendar first, give yourself some space. And then number five is you're constantly swamped at work. So you're picking up other people's shift or their projects, or saying, yeah, yeah, don't worry about it. I got it. I'll do it. I got you. Or they're just coming to you like, hey, Susie, hey, Joe, you got me. Can you do this? I got to run around and talk to all my friends and socialize. Can you do my work? It'll come out differently, but just you don't have to, right? I'm giving you permission to stop being so nice, so that you are eventually burnt out or overwhelmed. So So what can you do? You give yourself permission to carve out time to complete your own task, whatever your goals are, before you even think about taking on somebody else's task. So you don't have to be super busy. It's just not okay. It's just not okay. Right? And then number six is you often get dragged to do things that you don't want to do. Like think about your group of friends or your family members or your work situation. And does it often feel like you're being dragged from one activity to the next? And they really don't care about whether you are don't want to be there or not, right? Come on, come on, come on, let's go. No, I don't want to. Come on, come on, come on. No, I don't want to. And then you end up going. So that's kind of crazy. So it might be because you're too afraid to voice your own opinions. You might be saying, I don't even know where I want to go, or maybe where I want to go is they won't like it. So you want to stop being so nice and chime in with your opinions. Do the research on the things that you like to do. Somebody calls you up, say, hey, you want to go eat somewhere? You're like, yeah, sure. And they're like, where you want to go? I don't know, wherever you want to go. What? Have an opinion. All right, throw it in there. Even if they don't like that Mexican place, but you do, or that sushi place, and you do. Let them come to some of the places that you like and try something new. Stop being so accommodating, even on the restaurants, right? So try to adopt an assertive attitude. This is even if it's out of character for you, and you allow yourself to throw out ideas. They might not even like them. All right, you might not even be 100% committed to those ideas, but throw your own ideas out, and then so what if they agree or disagree? This is about your development, right? Your ability to share your own thoughts. And so, how will you know what you don't like if you don't start to try to determine what you want to do? So, I hope that makes sense to you. Now, number seven is you shoot your own ideas down, right? In your own head, you're in there putting your own self down, right? You're just like belittling the things that come to you. And you're like, girl, you can't do that. What's wrong with you? You don't have enough money. You have resources. You don't even dress right. When you feel yourself saying that, you're doing that to yourself, feeling like you're inadequate. Then yeah, just stop it. Just take that stuff and put it on the floor. Stop it on the floor, right? Because that's a habit that you have built. And the only way to break it is you do the opposite thing. Number eight, number eight is another way for you to know that this is a sign that you might be too accommodating, that you are too nice. So you often have to back out of plans. Do you have to do that? Do you have to call people and say, "Oh man, I can't come," or worse, you don't even show up and you didn't tell them why? Like maybe they won't even notice me, and they notice you. So in an effort to be nice, you may find yourself quickly agreeing to plans without even checking your schedule. I say check your schedule. I have a Google Calendar, which is shared on all the different devices, and I put things on there. I color code them because I can have my family's calendar, my business calendar, my personal, different things, and it all comes together. So you can use that. I'm going to gift that to you as a calendar, a shared calendar, so that you're not overscheduled. So you just might be afraid to say no, right? You might feel guilty because you want to be liked. But the side effect is you'll have to cancel last minute, or you might be backing out. But once you realize you're double booked, you want to say, oh my God, okay, let me start using this calendar. So if you tend to say yes quickly, why don't you just practice slowing down your response? And again, I'm reading this article from Bustle, right? And has all these great ideas, great ways to identify if you are being too nice, right? And too accommodating. So one of the things you can practice doing is saying something like, oh, you know what? Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you within an hour, or I'll get back to you soon, right? And so I want to make sure I can say yes without any conflicts. That way you're not declining after you said yes, or have to come back and backtrack or that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure you honor your own feelings before you honor other people's schedule and their plans. But I have plans all the time, right? So number 9 is people say rude things to you all the time. People say rude things to you all the time. So if you noticed you have a pattern of friends or family members or work associates who are saying whatever they want to you, they don't even care about your feelings. So you gotta just think about, you must be really nice because they wouldn't say these same things to other people, but they feel like you're fair game. That's crazy, right? So you can just set some more boundaries or get some space in between those people too, because they're not nice people. What is that? They're dumping all that crap on you. So had a hard day at work and they want to come in and uh, share their resentment with you. Oh, no, 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 not happening. So you have to make sure that you are setting up some boundaries in that regard, right? So it's time to stand firm. And so number 10 is your insides don't match your outsides. Like, what do you mean by that? So are there things that you say that are not matching with what you feel? So if you're like anxious or you could be angry or jealous even because you're like, oh my gosh, you got a new car, so you might be a little jealous on that part. But that's what you're thinking on the inside. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe you got a new car. Shucks. But on the outside, you're like, oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's great. I love that. Your insides don't match your outsides, right? So you got to understand what this means for you, right? That's because you're just so darn nice. You don't have to be nasty or mean to people, but you can say, okay, so that $10 you owe me, I said, well, pay it back. Whatever, say it in a nice way. Another thing is you might be exhausted, tired all the time because you are constantly on the go for other people or constantly taking on projects that you're like, oh my God, I'm tired. I just want to rest. I just want to sleep. I just want to be able to walk down the street, my puppy or something, whatever it might be for you. So just remember that there is a big difference between being nice and being genuinely kind. Um, so you just know that you can be kind to people without being overly accommodating. You can respond in a calm and kind manner without taking on more obligations from people to be liked, to be included. Sometimes you don't need to be included. I mean, just let's just say that, right? Number 12 is you avoid confrontation at all costs. You don't have to be in a big old drag out with somebody. You don't have to be confrontational, but at the same time, you can put some space in between that other person, the other group of people. You can just practice being assertive, right? Again. So, and I know even if that word just makes you, that makes your skin crawl because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with any confrontation. So you can just um, stand up for yourself. Again, you don't have to be demonstrative or mean or loud about it. When sometimes I am very loud, and I like it. I'm telling you that I like it. So, and then sometimes it's just not worth the commitment or investment to just go there with people. And you want to be safe. You do want to be safe. There's a lot of people who will physically harm you if you are challenging them. So you want to be safe. But at the same time, you got to stand up for yourself, put some distance between you and that person, set up some boundaries, and be prepared to, hold fast on your boundaries, right? So you have to practice this little by little to do that. And I think this is a good part of the article. It says, um, nice people attract needy people. So when you were too nice, you teach others that you don't have boundaries. You teach them. You teach people how to treat you, right? Was that Maya Angelou? We teach people how to treat us. And so when the word gets out that you don't have boundaries, that you're so nice, you'll hear it. People introduce you, oh, she's so nice. And you just, at that moment, you're thinking, oh, I know what you mean by that. Translation, I don't have any boundaries, right? Depends on who it is. So that's when it'll feel like You're always like the mediator for someone, other people's drama. You're drawn into their drama, right? And so you might want to um, start recognizing the needy people in your life, like your friends, or your partners, your family members. You're like sapped of energy because it's just too much, right? So the next time someone tries to suck you into drama, take a step back and ask yourself if you have the time or the energy for this. Just state your boundary, like, hey, you know what? It, it means a lot that you're trusting me with your information, but I can't talk about it right now. And then poop, they're like, what? You can't talk about it, but I want you to hear this. I want you to help me. No, I'm good. I got something else to do. I got something else to focus on. Like, you know what I mean? So if you're being too nice, it'll take time to replace that habit and all of the anxiety that comes with that. So you want to be at peace, really. You want to be at peace. You want to be at peace at that. So again, this article was written by I think written originally in 2016, and it's on Bustle, Bustle. The author is Carolyn Stieber, Steber. Credit to the people who wrote the article, and this is really, it was really good for us in the Better You community to just take some time to determine if you are being too nice, right? Being too nice. So you want to make sure that first thing is practice saying no and stop all that apologizing to folks. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Just stop it. And when you genuinely do something that needs or requires an apology, then apologize like an adult. But when you're just, somebody else sneezes, oh, I'm sorry. What? Stop it. Set some boundaries. And then, let's move on with our lives. So um, over the next 7 days, encouraging you to take a look at your life as if you're standing on the sideways, right? And you're listening to yourself as you are apologizing, or as you are taking on other people's stuff, helping them too much, giving too much of yourself where your priorities are not being met, your goals are not being met, you are tired. And so you want to take a look at how you are showing up in the world. And I'm just going to tell you, I want you to show up for yourself first and then serve others from the overflow. Get those boundaries straight, right? Again, so my name is Angela Odom. I'm the host of the Better You Leadership Podcast, founder of the Better You Project, and this has been yet another episode of this podcast for women leaders. So what did we talk about today? We talked about you. We talked about you. That's right, straight up talked about you. So I would love for you to go to the wherever podcast streams and you're listening to them, to make sure you go and give me a rating of 5, right? 5, 5, 5. And make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you have notifications of when the next one is. It's every week. That's right. In the meantime, if you are looking for transformation, I have a coaching program, 100 days. It's how to become a better leader in 100 days, right? So whatever that goal is, and you need a little help, need a little support, then there you go. Here I am. So you want to go to angelaodom.com, and that's ODOM, right? angelaodom.com/leadership capacity. Leadership capacity. And that way you will schedule a time for you and I to talk on Zoom, online, and we will talk through your needs and how my program actually works. Okay, with that said, have an amazing day. And I'm pretty excited about your growth. I'd love to hear how your no's, right, are coming, as opposed to all those yeses you throwing out all over the place. All right, take care. Have an amazing day. May the good Lord continue to bless you and yours. Take care.